Brian, stop the tape.
Okay, Mike. Oh, wait. Rewind that scene, please.
Rewind that scene.
Rewind that scene. Rewind it.
Rewind that scene. Rewind that scene.
I'm Mike Rizzo.
And I'm Brian Bonds.
And this is the Rewind That Scene
podcast.
A podcast where we go back in time to our favorite cult classic movies from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and beyond into the oblivion.
All the times.
And all the ways. We
That's
do
true.
it all.
Exactly.
This one's very special. People Under the Stairs, 1991. Yes. Wes motherfucking Craven.
I believe this is one of his first films, and really based on a story that the true story where cops got called and they found out that there's people that were actually keeping all these people in the basement, locked up and shit. Real scary stuff. An incredible movie. You know, there's a lot of just intense stuff going on here. A lot of weird tropes and weird shit. Some S&M stuff. Some really weird abusive shit. But what an amazing film, and it's dubbed as a horror comedy, and there's some comedy elements in it, you know. But yeah, you know, basically it's about this kid Fool who helps his dad out, and then, you know, they're trying to, like, you know, rob some stuff and stumble upon this really cryptic white couple, and they're hiding their daughter who they treat like shit upstairs, and sometimes it's really fucked up. But one of, you know, characters that we attached with, you know,
immediately we loved Roach.
Yeah, we love Roach.
Immediately, just like his face, his energy, his vibe. Everything about him, we're like, this guy right here, Roach.
Yeah.
We were like quoting him. We were like, right? Like,
oh, it's great.
Going on after we saw that. We were always talking about Roach.
And, you know, he's kind of he helps the young girl, you know, safe through the house and knows all the ways. He also has his own bed, and he helps the kid. He's played by Whalen, who we have on the show today. You've seen him in That Thing You Do, Twister. You've seen him in Doppelganger, Jersey Boys. I mean, the list goes on.
Yes, he's great. We really love this guy.
Really
and
great actor.
We are honored to have him today. So,
beautiful man.
Sean.
How did you get into acting, and how did you find the audition for The People Under the Stairs? I know that's, you know, one of our favorite films, and, you know, you're one of our favorite characters in that film, and I know it's one of your first works. So just curious about your journey.
Well, I mean, I got into acting as a kid. I got into it in elementary school. I didn't do as much in middle school as you know, I look back and I go, gosh, I really didn't do as much theater. I did some goofy shows and did a short film with a friend. But then in high school, I really ramped it back up again and got into theater and doing musicals and chorus and dancing and all that kind of stuff. And then I got into the UCLA theater program, and I got a lot of heat really quick from that because I did a play with Daphne Zuniga. I don't know if you know, she was from Melrose Place and Spaceballs.
Hell yeah.
She was the princess in Spaceballs. And so I got a lot of heat, but it was just kind of too much. I was just from Maryland, and I kind of backed off. And I then went into I built a fraternity with a bunch of friends of mine, and that was really fun and powerful and taught me a lot about hustle and business. And then I got into the Groundlings, and I did that for a couple years, loved it, did a lot of commercials at that time. And then after that, I went into Playhouse West, which was more dramatic. And then I got a coach to help me fuse, you know, the comedy training and the drama training, you know, and I got an audition. Like, people go, how'd you get into horror? And I go, because it's literally the audition that came across the desk. Like, I went out for comedy. I went out for drama. I went out. I mean, you don't choose these things. Like, it's very funny. People are like, why are you coming to Minneapolis? And I go, because I have no promoter to pay my flight and have me at a, you know, you know, they're like, why wouldn't you want to do Twister too? But it's not, not up to me. You know, I mean, I don't make these choices. So it was just a random audition. And I thought, I'm going to just crawl around the floor and scream and giggle. Well, interestingly enough, I played Renfield in high school.
Nice.
My senior year. My high school teacher built that because I thought the same thing. Oh, crawl around and giggle and make, you know, weird face. But Renfield is caught between Dracula and helping these people to tell them this isn't a joke. Like, he's for real, but he can't say it because he'll get killed. So that's why he uses all the weird, like, the spider to the fly. So, and he's very, he's insane, but he's actually trying to help them. He goes too far and gets killed. So there's more going on. And it's the same as Roach. Like, he could leave, but obviously if he's smart enough to get out of the basement, he's smart enough to get the heck out of that house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he stays to help Alice. He stays to torment, mommy and daddy. And he's kind of a hero, but doesn't know he's a hero.
Yeah.
So my coach kind of was like, listen, we need to get all the pathos of when he dies, because he knows he's still young. He doesn't want to die. He treats himself like he's invincible because he's only like 16 years old. And so that's a sad moment, but you have to also make sure that Alice is okay. So we worked on those two aspects of that scene. We worked on me being excited and shooting him with the slingshot and stuff like that. And then I got a call and I was straight to Wes's office, and there's guys all in raggedy clothes. And, I see, I'm looking at guys going, you couldn't fit in a car, let alone between the walls. Like, what are you doing here? Like, big muscly guys and stuff. I'm like, what are you doing here? Or then there was really small, like almost kids. And I thought, you could go that way. But I was 27 and I looked very young.
Oh, yeah.
So that was helpful. And I also could understand like the stuff my coach was telling me. And then I went in and I did a few scenes, but there's no lines, you just had to do them with your kind of actions, which was nice to make it really pure. But the funnest part of the whole thing is my friends were all in graduate school, just finished business school. They were going out there, like, going to dinner, and they're like, oh, just, with these suits and briefcases and the resume, and you have to sit there and, talk to these people and say the same stuff. He goes, to get a job is hard. And I go, okay, for me to get a job, I'm half naked, crawling around Wes Craven's floor, cackling, screaming, and crying.
Yeah, well, we latched onto your voice. The voice that you do always stayed with us. We're like, that character is so bizarre. I love it.
Yeah, and your mannerisms.
Everything great. About you. Like you said, we latched onto you.
It was so funny because the same friends of mine, it's crazy. I'm seeing these same friends tomorrow. We've been friends for 40 years. We go to Palm Springs every year. And that's one of the things people go, oh, you're so down to earth. And I go, my friends, my family, I'm just Sean. I don't go there and they're like, what's going on with the movie industry? They're like, dude, I thought you were bringing the chips. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
No one, but they go and they see the movie, and I'm only on screen for 11 minutes. I'm heard about, but you hear me in the walls for a little bit, for a few minutes before you see me, and I'm going, and the guys start busting up, and I'm like, dude, this is a premiere for a horror movie. I got you tickets. Could you have some respect? They keep laughing as I do that. And I was like, they come out after. I go, dude, what? Why did you guys laugh so hard? I'm sitting there making these scary. They go, scary? This is like you wasted on a Friday night.
Oh, I love that.
You're sitting back going,
yeah. I've seen this before.
This is not, they're just laughing their heads off. It was so great.
That. They know that sound.
God.
They knew it 100%. So, and then literally what was crazy is an hour after I got home. So movies are the slowest casting. Like all of a sudden your agent will call and go, guess what? You got that comedy. And you're like, which comedy? Like it's been so long. This one I got an hour after I left. Like I literally pulled into my house and my agent called. And said,
that's
you got
amazing.
it. Yeah.
And then what was it like working with Wes Craven? Like, especially for your first movie or whatever. It's like a crazy thing you're on right there.
Just basically, he wanted us to be as truthful as possible in this crazy world. He wanted it to be, but he was super nurturing and super like, if you guys know the movie really well, when AJ runs down the stairs and like slips in the blood, falls on her butt.
We rewatched it last night.
And he throws her, and she throws her in the tub. And she said, it was not hot. It was super cold, but she was freezing and screaming for that. And after those, he would say, look, are you okay? Are you uncomfortable? And each time Wendy and or AJ would go, no, please keep that. Please keep, because it was real. It was a real moment. Like her slipping on her butt. He's like, I don't want to use that. She goes, no, like he said, okay. He just wanted to keep it real. And for me, he was just so nurturing. There's two great story and a funny story. The funny story was one of my first scenes is he had the scene where I show my tongue for the first time.
Yes.
And I'm in the bedroom, and then Daddy runs in and shoots the wall, and I dove out of the wall, and we had to rehearse that several times, get it very tight. I jumped through the walls. He goes, boom. I was like, man, we did it perfectly. It was all the choreography work that we did went perfectly. And Wes goes, could you come here for a second? I go, yeah, what's the problem? I thought it went great. He goes, just watch. He comes in, he shoots, and you hear me go, oh shit. and I goes, you can't talk. And I go, I didn't even know I said it. I was so
right.
startled. So I just took the little tongue thing, and I said, will you give me this prosthetic that I put in my tongue? And I wore that for the rest of the movie. So I could just be free and talk. And I just, every morning I put in right before it takes, so I could just talk and be normal, but it would mess up my mouth.
And that close-up insert really gets you as a viewer. When you first watch it, you're like, "Oh my god!"
It's so fake looking in real life, but they're like, "Wait a minute! Don't forget to moisten it."
You gotta moisten the tongue.
Moisten the tongue. And then the other one was when I was, what I said about that scene. I wanted to have the sadness and the bravery when I was going to do that, and we were sitting by the set of the little oven where I, die in the movie. And I said, I really want to do this. He said, great. So I said, I'm going to go prepare on this corner. Well, I went over and I didn't see anything, but I was sitting there and I was getting sad and getting teary eyed and all, and I heard a makeup woman and they were like, hey, is he okay? Like, is Sean okay? And then another craft service person came, is Sean okay? And Wes was blocking them going, he's working.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was so cool.
That's
You're
great.
like, he wanted to make sure that I had the space to do what I thought made the scene better. And that's the thing.
Amazing.
Like, people go, Sean was difficult. He wasn't ready. No. You would wipe off the lens of a camera. You would make sure the sound is plugged in. Don't you want to have the actor ready? Like, this is the same thing. And he completely understood that.
Love that.
So it was very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Amazing.
Super mellow. He looks like the nerdiest, sweetest, he looks like just the nerdiest, sweetest guy, and you go, what's going on in your brain?
Right.
Like, I don't know what's
that
happening.
Beautiful brain.
That beautiful, sweet, he's like the nice uncle that goes, hey, I'll take you to the library. You know what I mean? But he's what he's got in his head is crazy.
That's true. Yeah, we love it. It's been one of our favorite films, and we always want to know, if there was able to be a prequel feature on Roach, would there be one? Or, if Roach was alive today, what would they do? I always think about this.
I mean, the sci-fi, the sad part was Wes was developing a sci-fi series of people under the stairs. So who knows what that would have been? Would that have been how it all started, everything, And when he passed away, the project just died, and it was such a bummer,
Yeah.
So
of course.
that was really that was a bummer.
Was there any for people who are diehard fans of this movie and Roach, are there any little funny stories or things that happen on set that were very memorable, or some of your favorite moments?
For me, mainly that one, the gunshot story where I did that. And Ving Rhames' dead body hanging upside down as the guy is, and Daddy's eating him and being a cannibal and draining his naked body upside down. So I remember when that scene was done, there was 2 makeup rooms. There was the normal makeup room where Wendy and AJ and, actually even I went. Then there was the special effects makeup room. And that's where I got my fingers attached every day. They were glued. But on the floor under the counter was just Ving's naked dead body. Because they were just storing it there. I have no idea why. And my ex-wife had come by the day. And then I think AJ Langer's parents came by and Brandon's grandmother was always there. And I go, Ving, man, you're married, right? And he goes, yeah, man. Yeah. And I go, I've never seen her on the set. And he just looks at me and he looks down and he goes, she didn't want to see that shit.
Yes, of course not.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's not into that. It was so funny.
Yeah, it should be scarred for life, right? Yeah.
Well, I did a show called Superstore and they had a dead body of me. And I remember, I said, I really want to see it, and I saw it and I took pictures. And my wife to this day, I'll go, God, she goes, nope.
It's fucking dark and horrible.
When my mom saw Roach die, she went, oh my God, you were so good, but don't ever make me watch that again.
Yeah.
Watch that again. She's like, I do not want to see my son die on screen. So.
Yeah, because you're like the hero, but then you just kind of fade away against the wall. I know, it's sad.
Very sad. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we love about Roach, is that you are very heroic in this film. You do save the day and make, one of the good ones and have a good strategy.
And I have a few of my fingers.
Yeah, let's see that.
Those are a few of my original fingers.
Oh, that's really
cool. They kept it on this thing of my. These are.
Dude, that's amazing.
These are my
fingers.
Yeah, they're molds of each one of my fingers, and I have a few. I have a few of them left.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's
very
so cool.
Make sure no one comes into your house and steals it.
I know, dude. Someone's gonna walk into my house. Somebody's gonna come into my house and look at that, and I go, "What's that?" And he goes, "No. Find the jewelry. I don't know."
Yeah.
Me and Brian would be after that. Fuck the jewelry.
Yeah, they're like, look, if this guy's got weird fingers on his things, let's get this shit and get out of here. Let's get out of here as soon as we can.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, you've been always a positive influence, in the films you've done. We've loved you in Twister, especially that thing you do.
Oh, that thing you do is another.
You got everybody dancing in that movie. And I just saw your Hulu short, which we're, excited about.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys got to see it.
Yeah, I love how just different you are in this one too, but yet it is still horror, and it seemed like a really fun on the sort of on the go in the car intense scene too, and again makeup.
You're all about the makeup scenes.
All about the makeup. Well, the great thing is, I mean, everybody who's seen it goes, man, I could keep watching it. Well, the idea is to hopefully expand it into a feature. I think it'd be an amazing feature.
Yes, I agree.
And the directors are friends of mine. They're like, we're going to put you in everything, and if we make a feature, we'll do that. And I said, oh, okay, but do I have to be that guy? Because if you make a feature, I want to be like the scientist who goes, we're close to finding a cure. I want to have a little bigger part than that. And they were like, we will. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or the colonel, that's sitting there going, I don't believe it's aliens, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always that guy, right? Who's like smoking the cigar.
Yeah.
Who has all the wisdom.
Yeah. You guys don't know what you're dealing with. It's the guy. It's Richard, whatever, from Jaws. Remember?
Oh,
in the back of the room, and he scratches the wall, and he just turns and goes, "You have no idea what you're dealing."
Yeah.
So good.
And also, man, we love your TikTok. Those like the 35 lists that you do, man. That's so funny. Of all your experiences, so much good stuff you have, man. So.
It's fun. It's just the people are like, I'm already starting to get people like, oh, I'm getting big. I go, I must be getting big because I'm getting trolls.
Oh,
and people are
that's how you know.
That's how I know. I was like, oh, I made it because they're going. Well, and this one guy just wrote, and I was just so tired last night. I usually just delete them when they're negative. They're like, but what about you? Are you just a pompous jerk? And I go, absolutely.
Yes.
You got it.
And thank you. Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah,
dude, this is amazing.
We'll make sure everybody gives you a follow.
And go to Hulu right now, Ride or Die. And I've got a couple more announcements. I got a movie dropping in 2 weeks, and I announced my new project today on Facebook that I'm shooting in January. So
nice.
Awesome.
So when people go like,
exciting.
are you still acting? It's like, yes.
Just
because you turned on TikTok
busy.
and just saw my face for 2 seconds. Is he still do a little research? Just a little.
Totally. Well, you went from movies into a TikTok guy.
Well, I had a major moment like 2 weeks ago. I was walking down the street and a guy goes, hey, I know you. And I go, yeah, I'm actually an actor. And he goes, no, from TikTok. And
oh my God.
That was the first time I was like,
that's
yes.
Wow.
How they say the TikTok algorithm is powerful. That's what they mean right there.
Exactly.
Well, it's good you're in the mix, and we're glad you're online.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Sean. Whalen, you made our dreams come true. Thank you, man. That really means a lot to us.
Did it.
So cool.
I can't believe we had a chance to talk to this person.
Yes.
Man, Sean, you're amazing. We've been
Thank you
watching
so much,
Roach
Sean.
from the days. You know,
You
when I
have
first
no
saw
idea
this
how
movie,
many times we saw Roach and we told our friends to go check out Roach.
it's true. When I first saw this
And
movie,
Brian had roaches in his apartment at the same time.
I had roaches everywhere. And, you know, I used to drink
Joe's
roaches.
apartment. Yes, Joe's apartment was made off of Brian's apartment.
You know, when I first saw this movie, it was in the woods and it was on a black and white TV. So I thought this film was actually black and white.
Oh, yeah. I remember this.
You know, and when I...
Tall Timbers?
Exactly. And get this. This is even a crazy story. I thought that the whole world was black and white. And my dad really told me that a color bomb came and hit Earth one day. And colorized
color
everything.
bomb. Like a fucking meteorite?
Yeah, like a decked out putty bomb, baby.
Yo, some people, you can't say putty bomb, dude. Remember that? Staten Island shit.
It's true.
I one time called someone putty and the guy came after me. I almost died.
Yeah, you got to watch out.
I can't get into that right now.
It's a Staten Island thing.
Yes, I went to Monsignor Farrell, so I commuted an hour and 15 minutes every day by bus.
Yeah,
we were the cool Brooklyn kids.
Yeah,
going to high school in Staten Island.
Yeah,
you know.
Luckily, Mike avoided the house that people under the stairs.
Yes, I avoided that at all costs.
Thank you guys so much for listening to tonight's episode. Make sure to follow us on social media.
Yes,
Bolo
and
Touch.
also follow Sean Whalen. He has some great stuff coming out. Some new things he's working on. Please.
Yeah, it's got a new show on Hulu. Check it out.
Yes, check that out. And follow us on social media. And see you guys next time. Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.